The moment the heroine emerged from her seclusion, she was chained to a bed by the very disciple she had raised. "Master, do you have any idea how long I've waited for this moment?" "You insolent whelp!" she snapped, her voice shaking with rage. "What nonsense are you spouting? Untie me this instant! Weren't you the one who started this, master? Are you going to deny it now?" The woman stared at him, utterly baffled. "I have no idea what you're talking about." He let out a soft chuckle. "Fine, whatever you say. In any case, I've already drugged you and chained you up. I'm going to defy you one way or another." With that, he leaned in and gently bit her earlobe. "How dare you?" Xiaoning gasped, a mix of shock and fury. "Zhu Yuncheng, you've lost your mind." He began to kiss her neck, whispering, "You're the one who drove me crazy." How did it come to this? She thought frantically. How could he do this to me? What happened while I was in seclusion? My sweet, obedient disciple. What turned him into this? 11 years ago, at the tender age of 15, she was already the pride of the Kangjian sect. She was a peerless sword cultivator who led her fellow disciples against countless demons, and her master had personally named her his successor. But as soon as he died, the elders went back on their word and made her worthless senior brother the new leader. On what grounds? All because he's a man. Furious, she had stormed off to the sect's forbidden grounds, determined to find the legendary secret art and use its power to change the sect's archaic rules. That's when she heard a loud crack. A hole burst open in the sealed stone gate, and a figure was thrown out. She ran over and scooped up the small boy. "Hey, are you okay? Wake up!" The boy's eyes fluttered open weakly. He pointed a trembling finger at the gate and struggled to speak. "Quick! Seal the hole, or the demons will get out." At the word demons, Xiaoning stared at the gate in shock. A terrifying skin-crawling sound echoed from within. The forbidden grounds were a gateway to the demon realm. Seeing the monsters about to swarm out, she set the boy down and began forming hand seals. By the time the seal was complete, she was nearly out of spiritual energy. "Just sealing that little hole took almost everything I had," she grumbled internally. "Opening the main gate would have been catastrophic. Looks like I won't be finding that secret art after all." Her gaze fell on the little boy, and an idea sparked. She walked over, picked him up, and sized him up. "I'll take him as my disciple, make him the sect leader, and then rule the sect through him from my position as his master." "Heh, I'm so clever." And so she brought the boy back, concealed his identity, and officially took 7-year-old Zhu Yuncheng as her disciple. She dedicated herself to training him, hoping to make him the sect's strongest as soon as possible. But then, she suffered a severe injury and had to enter seclusion for several years to recover. She told Yuncheng to train diligently and not to slack off. "I never imagined I'd come out to this." Though it felt like an eternity, her thoughts had only taken a moment. Zhu Yuncheng's voice pulled her back to the present. "Did you know, Master? I was going to wait a few more years before doing this to you, but you just had to provoke me. How could I possibly resist?" Xiaoning had no idea what he was talking about. She desperately tried to gather a wisp of spiritual energy, but it was useless. Yuncheng had forged these Xuan iron chains specifically for her. Ordinary power couldn't break them. He wrapped an arm around her, his devilish eyes locking onto the panicked woman before him. Xiaoning's heart pounded. "What are you doing?" Something a disciple should never do to their master. "No," she cried out. "We are master and disciple," Xiaoning cried, her breathing unsteady. "We can't do that." But the young man on top of her paid no heed and continued his assault. In her panic, a desperate idea suddenly came to her. "In that case, I have to use the goo." She bit her lip hard, drawing blood. She had almost forgotten about the 1,000 threadbone goo she'd implanted in him years ago, a precaution she'd taken since he was a demon, though he'd never shown any sign of his aggressive nature. She never thought she'd actually have to use it. With that thought, she leaned in and kissed his cheek. Zhu Yuncheng froze, looking up in surprise. "Master, did you just kiss me?" Seeing him distracted, Xiaoning quickly chanted the incantation. "With blood as the guide, let the silken threads bind." The young man stared in shock as a dense network of golden threads spread from his chest up to his cheeks. "What is this?" Xiaoning sat up, her eyes cold. "It's the 1,000 thread bone. You've surely heard of how powerful it is. If you don't want to suffer, release me at once." Hearing this, Zhu Yuncheng covered his face. 1,000 thread bone? You actually put 1,000 thread bone goo in me? When? How did I not know? Could it be you did this a long time ago? He laughed, a broken sound. And here I thought you were showing me affection. It turns out you've been guarding against me since I was a child. Xiaoning, in all these years, was there ever a single moment of genuine affection between us? Was even our master-disciple bond a lie? Xiaoning's expression remained indifferent. Further talk is useless. Release me now, or you won't be able to bear the pain. Seeing her so cold, Zhu Yuncheng grabbed her chin. And what if I don't? The moment he spoke, Xiaoning began to chant. The young man cried out, collapsing onto the bed in agony and coughing up a mouthful of blood. Sweat beaded on his forehead as he gasped through the pain. Master, you are so cruel. If you have the heart, then just kill me. Seeing that her rebellious disciple was still unrepentant, she said coldly, Don't persist in your foolishness. I'll spare you this time. Go and think about what you've done. Zhu Yuncheng staggered to his feet and roared in fury, Why? You were the one who provoked me first, and now you act as if nothing happened. His words made Xiaoning's cold facade crumble. What? I provoked you? The young man sneered. What, have you forgotten so quickly, master? You were the one who drew my portrait, held my hand, and even touched and kissed me. With that, he walked to the door, his disappointment palpable. Before leaving, he added, It doesn't matter whether you admit it or not. I won't let you go. Master, you are mine. You can only be mine. Xiaoning stared after him, completely bewildered. What is that brat talking about? I was in seclusion the entire time. How could I have possibly provoked him? Something isn't right here. Baffled by her disciple's accusations, Xiaoning decided to investigate. That night, she activated the 1,000-thread bone to enter his dreams, hoping to find some clues. In his room at Serene Heart Pavilion, the sleeping Zhu Yuncheng had no idea that his dear master had just slipped into his dreamscape. Upon entering, Xiaoning looked around in confusion. Huh, this is the inn where we stayed 5 years ago, the first time I took him on a demon-slaying mission. She looked at the dream version of her disciple and stroked her chin, a sense of pride welling up. He was just a kid back then, already trying to stand guard over me while I was injured. Such a good boy. Before she could get too sentimental, she saw the dream disciple staring at her intently. She was wondering why he was looking at her like that when the boy leaned in and planted a soft kiss on her cheek. After the kiss, the boy mumbled, I'm sorry, master, I didn't mean to. The real Xiaoning was stunned. That little brat Zhu Yuncheng did something like that even back then. Suddenly, the dream shifted to her own bedchamber. Still dazed, Xiaoning heard a familiar voice. She turned to see a dream version of herself calling out seductively, Yuncheng, come here. The teenage Zhu Yuncheng walked forward respectfully. Master, you summoned me so late at night. Is there something urgent? The red-robed Xiaoning smiled flirtatiously. Don't you like me like this? She reached out and caressed his face. The real Xiaoning, watching from the side, couldn't believe her eyes. What? What is this? Is this just his wishful thinking? A dream born from his desires? Or did this actually happen? The dream boy slowly replied, It's not that. I just find it strange that you're acting this way all of a sudden. The red-robed Xiaoning chuckled. What's so strange about it? Her hand continued to drift toward his lips. With a sharp smack, Zhu Yuncheng instinctively slapped her hand away and quickly bowed. Forgive me, master. Please rest well. I should be going. Watching the boy leave, Xiaoning pondered. So is this what Yuncheng meant when he said I provoked him? Why don't I have any memory of this? Did I forget for some reason? But why did he seem so resistant to this me? Just then, she felt a sharp pain in her heart. In the real world, the sleeping young man shot up in bed, clutching his chest and gasping for air, drenched in a cold sweat. Xiaoning, now back in her own body, murmured, He's awake. I can feel it was the pain that woke him. Was I too harsh on him today? Well, I'll summon him tomorrow and question him properly. I need to get to the bottom of this. Awakened by the pain, Zhu Yuncheng couldn't get back to sleep. He went to the library to search for a way to counter the 1,000-thread bone, remembering he had once seen it mentioned in an ancient text. He soon found it. The book read, The 1,000-thread bone is linked to the caster's blood. If the afflicted person gives their blood to the caster to drink, the caster will lose control of their actions. Reading this, a wicked smile spread across Zhu Yuncheng's face. Master, you can't escape me now. Master, did you sleep well? Hearing his voice, Xiaoning turned her head and said slowly, You're here just in time. I want to talk to you. It's rare for you to want a heart-to-heart with me, Master. What is it you wish to say? After seeing his dream, Xiaoning felt a little guilty. You said that I provoked you, but I truly don't remember it. Allow me to investigate this, and I promise I will give you an explanation. How does that sound? She paused, then added, Also, I wanted to tell you that it's very common for young people to develop a sense of dependence and reverence for their elders. But that isn't love, it's just... Before she could finish, the young man interrupted, his tone displeased. I never thought you'd not only deny everything, but also completely dismiss my feelings. Well then, I wonder if you remember how you flirted with others. For instance, your late-night rendezvous with second Marshal Uncle. The accusation hit Xiaoning like a bolt of lightning. What? I met with my second brother at night? But Zhu Yuncheng had lost his patience for her excuses. He pulled a dagger from his sleeve, a sinister glint in his eye. That's enough, Master. Stop acting. It doesn't matter if you admit it or deny it. I don't care anymore. With that, he sliced his palm open and held his bleeding hand to her lips. Xiaoning instinctively recoiled, but it was futile. After he released her, she tried to cough up the blood she'd swallowed, but his lazy voice drifted over. It's useless. Don't blame me, Master. You'll start to enjoy this very soon. Suddenly, Xiaoning felt her body heat up and her voice became husky and alluring. What's happening to me? Zhu Yuncheng lifted her chin. Master, it's just me here now. Don't fight it. Look at me, please. When Xiaoning turned her head away, he seemed to go mad, tearing at her clothes. Look at me, just like you did before you went into seclusion, when your eyes had room for no one but me. Zhu Yuncheng, you can't do this. She gasped, trying to push him away. Stop! You're about to be mine and mine alone, Master. How could I possibly stop? I want to possess you right now, to hide you away so no one else can ever see you again. As his hands reached for her again, Xiaoning, fighting the strange heat in her body, said angrily, Zhu Yuncheng, if you go through with this, I will never forgive you. Her words snapped him out of his frenzy and he froze. As if on cue, a bell chimed outside the secret room. The bell was connected to the courtyard gate, meaning someone had arrived. Zhu Yuncheng considered ignoring it. No one would find this room anyway, but his master's words weighed on him. He stood up. Someone's here. You're lucky, Master. I'll help you suppress the effects of the blood. I'd hate for you to be uncomfortable. After he did, he turned to leave. I have to go. See you tonight. Watching her treacherous disciple leave, Xiaoning began to plot. He's so stubborn, he won't listen to a word I say. I can't let this drag on. I have to find a chance to steal some of his spiritual energy and find a way to call for help. Night fell quickly. This is your favorite quack seed porridge, Master. I went down the mountain just to buy it for you. Here, have a taste. Seeing the porridge, Xiaoning's eyes lit up. This was her chance. She took a bite, thinking, Yuncheng hates the taste of quack seed, so he's never tried this porridge. He has no idea what's in it. Suddenly, Xiaoning coughed dramatically, covering her mouth. Why is this porridge salty? Here, you try it. Zhu Yuncheng's mind was racing. I'm going to eat from the same spoon as Master. Does that count as a kiss? Xiaoning watched him, her heart pounding. I'm sorry, Yuncheng. You've had a severe allergy to almonds since you were a child. Just a little will make you pass out, and there are almonds in this porridge. Zhu Yuncheng happily swallowed a spoonful, and then his body went rigid. The bowl fell from his hand. Feeling his strength drain away, he looked at his master with a wounded expression. You put something in the... Before he could finish, he collapsed. Xiaoning looked at the disciple slumped over her lap and sighed. How did my sweet boy turn into this? I need to hurry and get help. She raised her hand, and a trickle of spiritual energy flowed from Zhu Yuncheng's body into hers. With that small boost, she tore a strip from her robe and sent a message to her senior brother for help. Meanwhile, Luo Wengxiu was discussing cultivation techniques with two of his disciples. Master Luo, there's a part of the technique you just mentioned that I don't quite understand. Feel free to ask, I'll explain it again. Just then, a strip of cloth fluttered down, catching their attention. Luo Wengxiu curiously picked it up, while his two disciples crowded around asking what it was. When he read the message, the air around him instantly turned frigid. Junior Sister Ning is in danger at Serene Heart Pavilion. He quickly composed himself and turned to his disciples. Something urgent has come up, and I must go to Serene Heart Pavilion. You two head back for now. I'll find another time to answer your questions. Why is Master Luo looking for trouble? Who would dare go to Serene Heart Pavilion? That place is a den of demons. The other disciple replied, Who cares? As long as that man-eater doesn't come after us again. Back in the secret room, the unconscious Ju Yuncheng slowly began to stir. As he came to, he looked at Xiaoning, his voice laced with anger. Master, what did you do? Xiaoning never expected him to wake up so quickly. His cultivation has improved this much in just a few years, she thought, a little panicked. Thank goodness I sent the message when I did. If he'd found out, my virtue would have been lost. Just as Xiaoning thought all was lost, the bell at the gate rang, interrupting Ju Yuncheng's advances. He glanced toward the door. It's the middle of the night. Who would be visiting Serene Heart Pavilion at this hour? Reluctantly, he stood up and left. When Ju Yuncheng reached the main hall, he saw his rival. He suppressed the urge to punch him and greeted him respectfully. Second Martial Uncle. Luo Wenxiu looked around. Nephew Yun, where is your master? I need to discuss something with her. Master has gone into seclusion again. If there is something you need, Second Martial Uncle, feel free to tell me. I will pass it on to her as soon as she emerges. Luo Wenxiu thought for a moment. I see. In that case, I will go to the door of her seclusion chamber and leave her a message with my spiritual energy. Hearing this, Ju Yuncheng smiled. Of course. This way, Second Martial Uncle. As he watched Luo Wenxiu walk away, Ju Yuncheng wondered, has he gotten suspicious? It doesn't matter. I've placed a barrier around the secret room. He won't be able to detect a thing. Luo Wenxiu returned after a fruitless search, sighing to himself. There's nothing out of the ordinary. If it weren't for the distress message, I'd think I was seeing things. The fact that everything seems so calm must mean something is wrong. This has to be related to Ju Yuncheng. Second Martial Uncle. The voice broke his train of thought. Ju Yuncheng was waiting for him obediently. It is late. You should return and rest. Having found nothing, Luo Wenxiu had no choice but to leave. You don't have to see me out. Stay here and take good care of your master. Ju Yuncheng nodded dutifully. Of course. But inside, he was fuming. My dear master, you certainly have your ways. After Luo Wenxiu left, Ju Yuncheng returned to the secret room. He closed the door and sneered. I'm surprised you can still attract other men even while you're locked up, master. He grabbed Xiaoning's wrist. You tricked me into eating almonds just so you could send a message to Luo Wenxiu? What, are you that desperate to get back to him? She pulled her hand back. You're talking nonsense again. Even without my senior brother, did you really think you could keep me locked up forever? But it seems your skills have grown in the 5 years I was in seclusion. Even my second brother couldn't find me. At the mention of 5 years, Ju Yuncheng froze. Xiaoning, however, continued her tirade. Now that the message is out, it's only a matter of time before your secret is exposed. You should let me go now. Ju Yuncheng, snapping out of his daze, asked uncertainly, Master, you came out of seclusion 3 years ago. Why do you say it's been 5? Master, you still don't believe me, do you? I'll take you somewhere. He poured a few pills into his hand and, without giving her a choice, forced them into her mouth. Don't be angry, Master. I just need to give you a little more of the muscle-weakening powder to make sure you behave. For good measure, he also cast a silence spell on her. Once he was done, he picked her up. Where we're going, you're going to hear something very interesting, he said as he walked. Meanwhile, Luo Wenxiu hadn't gone back to rest after leaving Serene Heart Pavilion. Instead, he went to find their good-for-nothing senior brother. Zhao Ziwang looked at him with disdain. It's late. What are you bothering me for? Luo Wenxiu bowed respectfully. Greetings, sect leader. In his mind, however, he was scheming how to trick this idiot into rescuing Xiaoning. After a moment's thought, he put on a worried expression. I heard that junior sister Ning suddenly went into seclusion and might be on the verge of a cultivation deviation. I came to ask you, senior brother, to help her. But Zhao Ziwang just waved a dismissive hand. A cultivation deviation is her problem. She can handle it herself. I'm tired. He would have to be more direct. Sect leader, other sects have been eyeing our Kangjian sect lately. If someone with ill intentions were to take advantage of this situation and harm our junior sister, it would be a great loss. The phrase, take advantage, finally got Zhao Ziwang's attention. Why didn't I think of that? He sat up. Go gather some disciples. We're all going to Serene Heart Pavilion to help our junior sister. Back to the master and disciple, who were now hiding furtively in the bushes. Xiaoning looked at him quizzically, her eyes asking, What are you doing here? Ju Yuncheng understood her silent question. Master, you're always so focused on your cultivation. You probably don't know how much the disciples love this pavilion. At night, they always gather here to discuss secrets. Xiaoning rolled her eyes as if to say, "What does that have to do with me?" Just then, the voices of several disciples drifted over. "Hey, why do you think Master Luo rushed over to Serene Heart Pavilion tonight?" Another disciple chimed in. "If you ask me, he's probably fallen for that man-eater." It makes sense. Master Luo has always been a caring person, and they grew up together. It's easy to get charmed by her. Poor Master Luo. Well, I guess he's taking one for the team. If it weren't for him, we'd be the ones in that she-devil's clutches. As they had been listening in the bushes, Xiaoning's face had suddenly paled. "What? That man-eater? Is me?" Zhu Yuncheng watched her reaction closely. From her expression, it seems she really has no memory of these things. If that's the case, this is a golden opportunity. He put on a wounded expression. "Master, do you know why I dared to confine you?" Seeing Xiaoning's confused look, he leaned in and whispered in her ear. "The truth is, Master, we were already together. You even promised to marry me soon, but then you heartlessly went after other men." Hearing the words together and marry, Xiaoning's mind went into a tailspin. The disciple beside her continued his pitiful act. "Master, how could I possibly bear such a betrayal?" His words left Xiaoning feeling awkward and guilty. Seeing his master flustered, the devious Zhu Yuncheng rejoiced internally. It seems she really has lost her memory. If I can trick her into taking responsibility for me, I wonder what she'll do. Just then, a familiar voice cut through the air. "All disciples, the sect leader has given an order. Follow me to Serene Heart Pavilion immediately to assist junior sister Ning with her seclusion." The disciples who had been happily gossiping froze in terror, as if they had misheard. Seeing them sitting there, Luo Wengshu urged them on. "What are you waiting for? Let's go." Back in the bushes, the master and disciple exchanged looks of disbelief. He actually managed to convince that idiot sect leader. Luo Wengshu is more capable than I thought. As the group left, Zhu Yuncheng picked up Xiaoning, needing to get back and reset the barrier before they arrived. Held in her disciple's arms, Xiaoning thought, "The situation is unclear right now. I can't let that idiot and my second brother find any leverage against Yuncheng." With that in mind, she struggled, gesturing for him to remove the silence spell. But her foolish disciple misunderstood, thinking she was trying to break free and call for help. Their movements alerted Luo Wengshu, who was not far off. He turned back toward the bushes. "Who's hiding there?" After a moment of silence, Luo Wengshu turned and left. The master and disciple, lying in the grass, didn't dare to breathe. Once he was gone, they got up to head back to Serene Heart Pavilion. Luo Wengshu, who had already left, suddenly turned back. The disciples, noticing he hadn't caught up, followed him. "Master Luo, why are you still here?" Luo Wengshu stopped and instructed, "I'm going to check over there. You all go and regroup with the sect leader first." The couple, who were about to leave, quickly ducked back into hiding at the sound of his voice. The position they fell into was incredibly suggestive, and Xiaoning's face instantly flushed crimson. At a time like this, Zhu Yuncheng was still teasing her, making Xiaoning frantic. He's still in the mood for this? Has he gone mad? What if we get caught? A disciple's shout cut through the tense atmosphere. "Whoever's hiding there, come out now! Don't make Master Luo come and get you himself!" The sound of approaching footsteps followed. Xiaoning's heart raced. They're really coming this time. How will I ever show my face in the sect again? The disciple on top of her, however, seemed perfectly calm. He looked at his master's nervous, blushing face and thought, "That's enough for now. I can't push her too far. There will be plenty of time for this later." As the group drew closer, Zhu Yuncheng flicked a nearly invisible strand of spiritual energy, hitting a sleeping spirit bird in a nearby tree. The disciples looked toward the sound, their expressions turning sour. One of them grumbled, "It was just a bird. Got us all worked up for nothing." But Luo Wengshu wasn't convinced. He stared at the spot, his face cold. Was it really just a bird? He continued forward and reached out to part the bushes. Before he could look inside, an impatient roar came from behind him. "Luo Wengshu, what are you doing? Get everyone to Serene Heart Pavilion, now! Stop dawdling!" They turned to see the idiot sect leader himself. This time, the group was truly gone. Zhu Yuncheng stood up and helped Xiaoning to her feet, his voice full of mock grievance. "If you try to call for help or escape again, Master, you'll have to pay the price. just like you almost did now." With that, he released the silence spell. Finally able to speak, Xiaoning quickly explained, "I wasn't trying to call for help. If I have truly wronged you, I can handle this search party." Secretly, she was also plotting her escape from the secret room. Hearing her words, Zhu Yuncheng was suspicious. "She wants to help me clear my name? But can I still trust her?" Zhu Yuncheng carried Xiaoning, rushing back just in the nick of time. They had just jumped in through the window when the bell outside chimed. Xiaoning said urgently, "That idiot is a stubborn mule. If he doesn't see me tonight, he won't give up. Yuncheng, give me the antidote to the powder. I'll go out and calm things down, all right?" But Zhu Yuncheng simply held her in silence and walked toward the bed. Panic surged through Xiaoning. She didn't want to be chained up again. She looked at him and pleaded earnestly, promising she wasn't trying to escape but truly wanted to help him. Meanwhile, Zhao Ziwang and his disciples had arrived at Serene Heart Pavilion in a grand procession. As they entered the front courtyard, he commanded, "All disciples, follow me to the seclusion chamber and rescue our junior sister from her cultivation deviation." With that, all the disciples reluctantly headed toward the chamber. Inside, Zhu Yuncheng silently placed his master on the bed. He held her wrist, his thoughts a tangled mess. Should I trust her? After the 1,000-thread bone, after she toyed with my feelings, tricked me into eating almonds to escape, and even tried to deny her love for me. After a moment, he gave a bitter smile. "Master, I really shouldn't trust you again. But my heart, it wants to take this gamble." He pulled out a small vial. Zhu Yuncheng slowly tipped a pill into his hand. "Master, this time I'm betting you'll stand by my side." He then popped the antidote into his own mouth. Xiaoning watched, her anxiety mounting. Why is he being so slow? They're almost here. Before the stunned Xiaoning could react, his lips were on hers. She tried to push him away, but she felt the pill dissolving and flowing into her mouth. Is he feeding me the antidote like this? At the same time, Zhao Ziwang and his disciples marched toward the seclusion chamber, only to find Zhu Yuncheng already waiting at the door. He looked at the crowd, feigning confusion. It is late and the dew is heavy. Why have the sect leader and martial uncle brought so many people to my Serene Heart Pavilion without any notice? Seeing Zhu Yuncheng blocking the way, Zhao Ziwang was furious. Do I need to explain my actions to you? Move. Zhu Yuncheng bowed. Forgive me, but my master ordered me to guard this place. I cannot obey the sect leader's command. Hearing this, Zhao Ziwang roared, Insolence! You dare to listen to her over me, the sect leader? Men, seize this brat and take him away. Seeing them motionless, Zhao Ziwang turned, his face murderous. What are you waiting for? Get him! Luo Wengshu also turned and saw that the disciples were frozen in fear, sweating profusely. One disciple stammered, Sect leader, we can't beat him. Zhao Ziwang gritted his teeth. There are so many of you, and you can't take down one person? Seeing their leader on the verge of exploding, a few disciples reluctantly stepped forward. We'll do it. They gathered their spiritual energy and charged at Zhu Yuncheng. He, however, simply looked at his own hands, knowing he could defeat them all easily. But if he fought back, how could he give his master a chance to save him? A wicked smile played on his lips. Since I'm already gambling, I might as well go all in. He dispersed his spiritual energy, closed his eyes, and stood perfectly still, waiting for the attack. This time, he won his bet. Just as the attacks were about to hit him, a massive wave of spiritual energy erupted from the room with a deafening boom, sending the charging disciples flying. Then Xiaoning emerged, her gaze sweeping coldly over the crowd. I'd like to see who dares to touch him. Freshly out of seclusion, Xiaoning stood protectively in front of her disciple, her face a mask of fury. Zhao Ziwang, what is the meaning of this? Taking advantage of my seclusion to bully my disciple? Behind her, Zhu Yuncheng let out an imperceptible sigh of relief. His gamble had paid off, and he had to admit being protected by his master felt incredible. Seeing Xiaoning full of power and fury, Zhao Ziwang gritted his teeth. Why didn't she have a cultivation deviation? It took him a moment to process the situation, and then he roared at her. Insolence! How dare you address me, the sect leader, by my full name? Xiaoning smirked. So what if I did? You want to fight me? You'll have to be able to beat me first. Her words left Zhao Ziwang speechless, his face twitching with rage. Luo Wengshu, standing to the side, thought, the idiot sect leader is no match for junior sister Ning. I need to give him a way out. He stepped forward with a smile. Junior Sister Ning, you've misunderstood. The sect leader and I came to help you, not to cause trouble for Yuncheng. Didn't you send for help? I was so worried. He reached for her hand. Seeing this, Zhu Yuncheng's inner rage flared. He's trying to seduce my master again. He gathered his spiritual energy, ready to strike, but Xiaoning sidestepped the hand. I am fine. I don't need help, but I thank you for your concern, second brother. Luo Wengxiu looked at her, puzzled. Junior Sister Ning, why are you calling me second brother again? You were calling me by my name just before. After a moment, she said, that was all a misunderstanding. Once I've investigated, I will explain it to you. Luo Wengxiu was about to say more, but the impatient Zhao Ziwang cut him off. He pointed a finger at Luo Wengxiu. You'd better have a good explanation for all of this when we get back. With a huff, he stormed off. Before he left, Luo Wengxiu looked back at Xiaoning, his voice full of reluctance. Junior Sister Ning, if you ever need help, please tell me. I will always be there for you. After she nodded, he finally departed. Just then, Zhu Yuncheng took Xiaoning's hand. Second martial uncle is all talk and fake kindness. Don't let him fool you, master. Xiaoning pulled her hand away, exasperated. There's nothing between us. As for you, if you can prove that we were really together, I will take responsibility for you. Hearing this, Zhu Yuncheng's heart soared. Great. I'll show you the proof tomorrow. The thought of marrying his master kept Zhu Yuncheng awake all night. He crept to her bedside and just watched her sleep. The next morning, a ray of sunlight streamed through the window. Xiaoning groggily opened her eyes, and before she was fully awake, Zhu Yuncheng's voice jolted her upright. Master, you're awake. She first checked her hands and feet, afraid the madman had chained her up again, then looked at him. Didn't you leave last night? What are you doing here? Seeing her so tense, Zhu Yuncheng propped his chin on his hand and explained, I was just so eager to show you the proof, but I didn't want to wake you. I went back to my room, but I was too restless to sleep, so I came over early to wait for you. He added, Don't worry, master, I just watched you. I didn't do anything. Xiaoning cleared her throat, a little embarrassed. So where's your proof? Zhu Yuncheng launched into his scheme. Master, since you're the one who placed the 1,000-thread bone goo in me, you must know about one of its most important features, right? If the two people bound by the goo are in love and consummate their relationship, the goo mother will sprout wings. So, if you want proof, all you have to do is summon the goo mother from your body and take a look. Xiaoning stroked her chin. She did remember reading about that in a book. All right, let's give it a try. She formed a hand seal and summoned the goo mother, completely oblivious to the sly grin on her disciple's face. It seems Master doesn't know that if she drinks my blood, the goo mother will grow wings too. Xiaoning stared at the goo in her palm in disbelief. It really has wings. After she returned the goo to her body, Zhu Yuncheng asked, Now do you believe we were together, Master? So, how are you going to take responsibility for me? Perhaps like the common folk, you could give me a proper title? He looked at her with hopeful eyes. Xiaoning's mind raced. I don't know what happened while I lost my memory, but given Yuncheng's obsessive and volatile nature, if I refuse him, he might sever our master-disciple bond forever. If we fall out over this, not only will years of affection be lost, but my grand plan to control the sect will also fail. All my years of careful cultivation would be for nothing. No, I can't lose him now. After thinking it through, she nodded. All right. I will go to the council hall today and ask the elders for their permission for us to marry. Hearing this, Zhu Yuncheng threw his arms around her. Master, do you know how long I've waited to hear you say that? In contrast to his joy, Xiaoning was stern. We are still master and disciple, do not be so forward. Sensing his master was genuinely annoyed, Zhu Yuncheng took her hand and rubbed it against his cheek, putting on a pitiful expression, practically begging for a hug. But as his master, Xiaoning wasn't about to indulge him. She gathered her spiritual energy, ready to give him a taste of tough love. Seeing that his act wasn't working, Zhu Yuncheng thought with regret, I shouldn't have removed her chains so soon. Now I can't even get a hug or a kiss. A short while later, Xiaoning led her disciple to the council hall. As luck would have it, all the key figures of the sect were present, saving her the trouble of notifying them. The idiot sect leader couldn't believe his ears. What did you say? You want to marry Zhu Yuncheng? Xiaoning looked at the three elders who all wore expressions of displeasure. She bowed. Yes, I ask for the blessing of the three elders and the sect leader. Zhao Zhuang sneered. So now you remember to call me sect leader? The third elder chimed in. A master asking to marry her own disciple is a disgrace to this sect. Luo Wengxiu was devastated. Junior sister, this isn't a joke. Explain yourself to the sect leader. But before he could finish, Zhao Ziwang cut him off. Fine by me, I'll allow it. On one condition, Xiaoning and Zhu Yuncheng must be expelled from the Kangjian sect. The three elders agreed. I concur. This is a matter of the sect's reputation. It is only right. They should also be punished with a whipping before their expulsion. Zhu Yuncheng's heart sank. These old fools are more trouble than I thought. My master values the sect above all else. If she has to choose between the sect and our marriage, she'll probably choose the sect. Before his thoughts could spiral further, Xiaoning spoke. Expelling Yuncheng and me is fine. But have you thought about how you'll deal with the demons plaguing the lands below, sect leader? Her words hit them like a punch to the gut. The self-righteousness on their faces vanished, replaced by a sullen silence. Luo Wengxiu stepped forward. Sect leader, elders, the demons have been growing more rampant lately, harming innocent people. If the Kangjian sect loses Xiaoning and her disciple, our demon-slaying capabilities will be greatly diminished, and our reputation will suffer. On one hand, a marriage between a master and disciple would be a scandal. On the other, the sect desperately needed them to maintain its prestige. The elders were at a loss. Zhu Yuncheng had remained silent throughout, but now he looked at Xiaoning with admiration. As expected of my master, she wants both. Now it's their turn to make a choice. Xiaoning and her disciple waited for hours, but the elders were still whispering amongst themselves, unable to reach a decision. The demons are running rampant, and all the major sects are using this as an opportunity to build their reputation. If we lose them now... The third elder trailed off. The great elder nodded. Our recruitment of new disciples next year will also be affected. But a marriage between a master and disciple, if word gets out, it will damage the sect's reputation. Xiaoning had finally lost her patience. Elders, have you reached a conclusion? The three of them fell silent, their faces grim. Finally, the great elder sighed. Very well. For the sake of slaying demons and upholding justice, we will compromise. You will not be expelled from the sect for now. However, while you are here, you may only be secretly engaged. You are not to be married. Xiaoning smirked. She knew they wouldn't give up on using her so easily. But this was exactly the outcome she wanted. She could get engaged to appease her disciple while continuing to plot her takeover of the sect. She glanced at the disciple beside her, wondering if he would accept this compromise. If Yuncheng doesn't agree, I'll have to come up with another plan. Zhu Yuncheng was also weighing his options. He knew how much the sect meant to his master. If he forced her to choose, he might lose everything. Honestly, if I hadn't pushed her so hard, I would have preferred for her to come to me willingly, even if it was just a little bit. So, he bowed respectfully. The sect leader and the three elders have been most considerate. Yuncheng is grateful. He had accepted. Xiaoning's tense heart finally relaxed. It seems he still values our master-disciple bond enough not to make things too difficult for me. A short while later, they returned to Serene Heart Pavilion. As soon as they entered, Xiaoning instructed, "The great elder has spoken. They will undoubtedly assign us many demon-slaying missions soon. Go and prepare." But her disciple said nothing. He simply pulled her into her room and pinned her against the wall. Xiaoning was stunned by his sudden move. By the time she realized what was happening, he was leaning in for a kiss. She pushed him away. No. Denied his kiss, Zhu Yuncheng resorted to pouting. Just one kiss. The elders have already approved our engagement. We're official now. Xiaoning turned her head away. Still no. Frustrated that he couldn't get a kiss, Zhu Yuncheng came up with a new plan. He took Xiaoning's hand and pleaded, "We're engaged now. To celebrate such a joyous occasion, you can at least have a drink with me, right?" Seeing her hesitate, he pressed on, a glint in his eye. "It's your favorite pine flower wine." As expected, at the mention of her favorite drink, Xiaoning couldn't help but swallow. She hadn't had a good drink in years, not since before her seclusion. Besides, Yuncheng was a lightweight. A few drinks with him wouldn't hurt. "All right," she agreed. "Go get the wine." Soon, the wine and food were laid out. Xiaoning poured a full cup for herself and a small one for him. After one round, she looked at her disciple, who was already passed out on the table. She chuckled. "Still a one-cup wonder. You haven't gotten any better at holding your liquor. Well then, I won't let the rest of this go to waste." Once Xiaoning was drunk herself, Muttering to her wine jug, the unconscious Ju Yuncheng sat up. "Master, I almost fell asleep waiting for you to get drunk." He pulled her into his arms. "They say the truth comes out with wine. I have a few questions for you." He held her close, his hand tracing her lips. "When you agreed to marry me, how much of it was out of a sense of responsibility, and how much was genuine? Just tell me there's a tiny part of you that likes me, and I'll be content." Just then, the woman in his arms opened her mouth and threw up all over him. Ju Yuncheng sighed. "It's fine, I'll just—" Before he could finish, Xiaoning reached out. "Let me clean it for you." She then proceeded to grope him in the most awkward of places. He couldn't take it anymore. He grabbed her hand, his voice strained. "Master, stop!" "I was trying so hard to wait until our wedding night." A drunk Xiaoning looked at him, confused. "What are you talking about? I don't understand. Let's get you to bed first, I'll explain later." The next morning, Xiaoning groggily opened her eyes and saw her disciple lying in bed next to her. "What are you doing here?" Ju Yuncheng looked at her with an embarrassed expression. "You're the one who dragged me here, master." Xiaoning sat up. "Sorry, I was drunk last night. It's all right. In fact, I couldn't have asked for more." As Xiaoning was wishing the ground would swallow her whole, Luo Wengshu's voice came from outside. Junior sister Ning." Xiaoning quickly straightened her clothes. "Yuncheng, stay in here. Don't come out. I'll go see what he wants." She opened the door and saw him standing there. "Second brother, what brings you here so early? Is something wrong?" Luo Wengshu's face flushed slightly. "Junior sister, I was up all night thinking. I'm in love with you. Please give me another chance." "Second brother, I only see you as a fellow disciple. Anything that happened before was because I had lost my memory. It wasn't real." But Luo Wengshu wasn't about to give up so easily. He looked at her with deep affection. "I knew you would say that, but I won't give up." "Second martial uncle, you're being rather shameless, aren't you?" "My master and I are engaged. Do you think I don't exist, standing here at our door confessing your love?" But Luo Wengshu still had to ask. "Why are you coming out of your junior sister's room so early in the morning? Did you two—" Ju Yuncheng pulled Xiaoning into his arms. "That's right, it's exactly what you're thinking." Xiaoning was about to explain, but then she thought it might be a good way to get rid of her second brother for good. She never expected him to be so persistent. He looked at the two of them and said, "I don't care that you've been intimate. Until you're married, I won't give up." Xiaoning was speechless. I never realized he had such deep feelings for me. With his rival throwing down the gauntlet, Ju Yuncheng wasn't about to back down. He gave Luo Wengshu a wicked smile. "All right, since second martial uncle is so confident, I'll be waiting." Luo Wengshu was fuming, but he had to maintain his gentle facade. "No rush, we have plenty of time." As he watched him leave, Ju Yuncheng sneered internally. "You think you have time? If I cripple you, you won't have any time at all." Once Luo Wengshu was gone, Xiaoning turned on her disciple. She glared at him. "Nothing happened between us last night. Don't you dare spread such rumors." Ju Yuncheng put on a wounded expression. "You're just going to cast me aside after using me, master?" "Nonsense!" she snapped. "I wasn't using you." Oh no, she's really mad. What do I do? What else could he do but appease her? All right. Whatever you say, master." Luo Wengshu left Serene Heart Pavilion, his usual gentle demeanor replaced by a grim, fierce expression. He glanced back and sneered. "Pathetic. Does he really think I'm as obsessed with romance as he is?" Seeing them, Zhao Ziwang said with a haughty air, "Some people who engage in scandalous affairs should get off this mountain and earn some money for the sect by slaying demons instead of being an eyesore." Xiaoning ignored him and whispered to her disciple, "Just as I thought. That idiot is going to use this opportunity to work us to the bone." Before Zhao Ziwang could say another word, he spoke up. "Sect leader, I request to go with junior sister Ning." Zhao Ziwang waved a dismissive hand. "Do whatever you want." Xiaoning knew that her disciple and Luo Wengshu were like fire and water. She didn't want to spend the entire trip playing peacemaker. "I don't agree," she said. Her reaction delighted Zhao Ziwang. He pointed at her. "Oh, you don't agree? The more you disagree, the more I want him to go." His smug attitude made Xiaoning want to teach him a lesson. But just as she raised her hand, Ju Yuncheng stopped her. "Master, getting angry with him will only waste time. For your sake, I will try to get along with second martial uncle." Xiaoning looked at him skeptically. "Really?" "Of course." He agreed verbally, but his thoughts were far more sinister. If he doesn't leave the mountain, it'll be harder for me to deal with him. A short while later, the three of them set off on horseback. They hadn't gone far when Luo Wengxiu eagerly offered his water flask. "Junior sister, you must be tired. Have some water." Zhu Yuncheng sneered. "What do you know? My master prefers wine." Caught in the middle, Xiaoning felt a headache coming on. She looked at the water and wine being offered to her, hesitated for a moment, then took the wine from her disciple. "I'll have the wine, thank you," she said to Luo Wengxiu, trying to sound casual. The rest of the journey was just as chaotic. The two of them treated her like a prize pig, constantly offering her snacks, from pastries and dates to meat pies and stinky tofu. They even argued over whether to stay at an inn or camp for the night. "We'll check the inn up ahead," Xiaoning said, cutting them off. When they arrived, the inn was already full. As the innkeeper saw them off, she sighed. Such handsome young men. The bickering continued outside. Zhu Yuncheng looked at Luo Wengxiu. "You don't even know what my master likes. What makes you think you can compete with me?" His words left Luo Wengxiu speechless. Xiaoning had had enough. "All right, that's enough. It's getting dark. We'll camp here for the night. Split up and find some firewood." With that, she walked off in one direction. Luo Wengxiu followed her. "Junior sister, let me come with you. I have something important to tell you." Zhu Yuncheng, who had just returned, overheard him. "I am her fiancé. What could be so important that you can't say it in front of me?" Luo Wengxiu ignored him and pulled Xiaoning aside. "I received your message for help, but then I heard nothing more. Are you in some kind of trouble?" The sight of the two of them whispering together was like a knife in Zhu Yuncheng's heart. His possessiveness flared. "It seems I'll have to make my move tonight." She pointed ahead. "Let's go gather firewood together, and I'll explain what happened." Watching the two of them walk off together, Zhu Yuncheng felt a murderous rage. He wanted nothing more than to chop that man to pieces. Once they were out of earshot, Xiaoning explained, "The call for help was a misunderstanding. It's all been resolved now." Luo Wengxiu didn't believe a word she said, but he didn't press the issue, just feigned a look of confusion. Seeing this, Xiaoning smiled. "Thank you for your help back then, second brother, but let's not bring it up again." Just as Luo Wengxiu was about to say something, a scream from behind them cut him off. Xiaoning's first thought was of her disciple. She dropped the firewood and sprinted back. Luo Wengxiu tried to stop her. "Junior sister, we're not done talking." All she could think was that Yuncheng was in danger. "The sound came from around here. Where is he?" She ran a little further and found him, injured and looking pitiful, standing amidst a pile of dead demons. She rushed to his side. "Yuncheng, what happened?" "Where are you hurt? Is it serious? Some demons ambushed me." "I could have handled them, but I was distracted because you and second Marshal Uncle were alone together. I got jealous." His words left her speechless. What on earth goes through his head? She helped him to the side and carefully bandaged his wound. "Thank you, master." Looking at the injury, she said sternly, "Next time, don't get distracted at a critical moment like this." With that thought, he threw his arms around her. "You're the best, master!" "That damn disciple is acting up again." She pushed him away. "Stop messing around. I can't bandage you properly if you're so close." The disciple had intended to get a little closer to his master, but a sound in the distance interrupted them. Xiaoning immediately stood up, on alert. She pointed. "I'm going to check that out. You stay here. Don't move. Master, it's just a flock of birds." But she shook off his hand. "No, I have a bad feeling." As she left, Zhu Yuncheng cursed under his breath. "These brainless demons are so incompetent. They still managed to alert my master. I have to follow her." When Xiaoning arrived at the scene, she found Luo Wengxiu surrounded by a group of demons. He was sitting on the ground in terror. "No, stay away!" Xiaoning quickly gathered her spiritual energy and with a single blast, wiped out all the surrounding demons. She helped him up. "Second brother, you were ambushed too?" Luo Wengxiu gave a bitter smile. "They came out of nowhere. I didn't even have time to send a distress signal." Zhu Yuncheng, who had followed her, saw his master helping his rival and was consumed by jealousy. Two voices argued in his head. The little devil on his shoulder fumed. "I'm so mad! Stop her from saving him! Let that bastard die!" But the little angel cautioned, "No, if we stop her now, she might figure out that we were the ones who led the demons here." After a moment of internal conflict, he looked at the two of them. He got lucky this time. He won't be so fortunate next time. The next morning, Xiaoning went to Luo Wangxiu. Your leg is badly injured. You can't continue on this mission with us. I've already sent a signal back to the sect. Zhao Ziwang will send someone to pick you up. Luo Wangxiu was unwilling to leave. He had to stay. Junior sister, I can still go on. Xiaoning, already turning to leave, stopped. It's decided. Listen to me. After she was gone, Zhu Yuncheng walked over. Second Marshal Uncle, you can't even take care of yourself. How do you expect to win my master's heart? Seeing it was him, Luo Wangxiu dropped his pretense and sneered. You think I don't know? You orchestrated yesterday's events, didn't you? What do you think would happen if I told your junior sister? Zhu Yuncheng gave a wicked smile. Oh? Why don't you try it, Second Marshal Uncle? Let's see if she believes you or me. Zhu Yuncheng scoffed. Trying to bluff me? If you had any proof, you would have already run to her. You wouldn't be wasting your breath on me. But your junior sister hates being lied to more than anything. When she finds out one day, you'll regret it. Zhu Yuncheng sneered. Then you'd better pray I get found out soon, Second Marshal Uncle. Any later, and my master and I will be married. Watching him walk away, Luo Wangxiu cursed under his breath. You little monster! I won't let you get what you want! Soon, the master and disciple were back on their horses. You seem happy. What's got you in such a good mood? He nodded. Of course, this is our first trip since we got engaged, and it's just the two of us. It's like a date. His words made her blush. Where do you learn such nonsense? He teased her. What's this? Is my master shy? Just then, Xiaoning looked ahead. Why is it suddenly so foggy? She added, This fog is strange. It's not natural. It might be related to a demon. Stay alert. Zhu Yuncheng frowned. Yes, master, don't worry. A cry for help echoed through the mist. Xiaoning didn't have time to think. Someone's hurt. Let's go. They found a man slumped against a tree in pain. Xiaoning approached him. Sir, where are you hurt? My leg. I can't move it. Please, can someone help me? Don't move. Let me see. After a moment, she stood up. This isn't an ordinary wound. It's from a demon. She added, I'll stop the bleeding. You go find some herbs to counteract the poison. When Zhu Yuncheng returned with the herbs, he didn't notice that the space around them had subtly changed. He was only focused on getting back to his master. As he got closer, he heard a voice. Thank you, miss. If it weren't for you and your husband today, I might not have made it. And then he heard his master's voice. He's not my husband. He lied to me, claimed I wronged him, and tricked me into agreeing to marry him. I hate being deceived more than anything. When he gets back, I'm going to break things off with him for good. Zhu Yuncheng couldn't believe his ears. Impossible! How could she have found out so quickly? He dropped the herbs and rushed to her. Master, what did you hear? It's a misunderstanding. I would never lie to you. A misunderstanding? I drank your blood, and the 1,000-thread bone in my body grew wings. You used that to trick me, didn't you? His heart sank. She knows everything. He tried to explain, Master, I just want to be with you forever. I can't lose you. But she pushed him away in disgust. Get away from me. I, Xiaoning, will never ever fall in love with you. He never expected her to be so cruel. He looked at her and gave a bitter laugh. Never fall in love with me? Fine. That's just fine. If I had known, I never should have let you out of that room. I never should have been foolish enough to think I could make you love me. With that, he pinned her against a tree. Seeing her clothes being torn, Xiaoning cried out in fear, Zhu Yuncheng, what do you think you're doing? Without another word, he kissed and bit her, muttering, I'm going to do what I should have done a long time ago. The bite stung, and Xiaoning said angrily, You insolent whelp! If you dare to lay a hand on your master, I will personally cast you out of this sect. On the verge of a breakdown, tears streamed down Zhu Yuncheng's face. Then what am I supposed to do? Master, this is the only way I know how to keep you. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through his heart. He clutched his chest and staggered back, looking at the master before him in disbelief. What's happening? I didn't see her activate the 1,000-thread bone. When he looked again, the figure in front of him began to fade. In its place was the real Xiaoning, activating the goo, her face etched with worry. Yuncheng, snap out of it! What you just saw and heard was a demonic illusion. Zhu Yuncheng, now clear-headed, asked in shock, That was an illusion? The man by the tree explained, Yes. While you were getting herbs, this young lady and I were both caught in an illusion. We had just woken up when you came back and started saying all sorts of strange things. The young man's frantic emotions slowly subsided. So all those cruel words, they weren't real. He suddenly thought of something and looked at Xiaoning. You were also in an illusion, Master. What did you see? Nothing. It's not worth mentioning, she said, cutting him off and walking toward her horse. She added, the demon in this area can create illusions. It's more powerful than usual. Let's find a place to rest and deal with it in the morning. All right, as you wish, Master. Zhu Yuncheng helped the injured man up. Master, there are no inns nearby. This gentleman is injured and needs to get home. The man, grateful for their help, invited them to stay at his home. Xiaoning agreed, and the three of them headed down the mountain. Leading the horse, Zhu Yuncheng watched Xiaoning ahead of him. She seemed normal. The knot of anxiety in his chest finally loosened. She still calls me Yuncheng, so she must not be angry, he thought, analyzing the situation. Good. I've worked too hard to get this far with her. I can't mess it up now. 2 hours later, they arrived at the man's house. He scratched his head, embarrassed. We only have 2 beds. You, sir, can sleep with me, and the young lady can sleep with my mother. How does that sound? Xiaoning didn't want to disturb his mother and said she could sleep on the floor. But Zhu Yuncheng suggested that he and the man sleep on the floor, and Xiaoning could have the bed. The man quickly agreed. Yes, that's settled. A short while later, Xiaoning was in bed. It wasn't long before she heard someone approaching. She sat up, drew her sword, and thrust it at the figure. When she turned, she saw her disciple, his hands up. Master, it's me. Can I sleep with you? His question left her speechless. He put on a pitiful expression. They don't have enough blankets, and the floor is too cold, and my wound has reopened, and I think I'm running a fever. Seeing her skeptical look, he pointed to his head. If you don't believe me, feel my forehead. It's burning up. Xiaoning was exasperated. She scooted over. I don't need to. You can sleep on the outer edge. Stay on your side. Don't cross the line. His plan having succeeded, Zhu Yuncheng nodded obediently. In the dead of night, he turned over and whispered, Master? When she didn't respond, he took a lock of her hair and kissed it. Xiaoning, who was only pretending to be asleep, thought, if he tries anything else, I'm kicking him out of this bed. But the person behind her snuggled closer and wrapped his arms around her. So much for not crossing the line. What does he think he's doing, hugging and nuzzling me? Zhu Yuncheng, she hissed. I'm warning you, out of consideration for your injury, let go of me now. When he didn't move, her patience ran out. She gathered her spiritual energy ready to throw him off the bed when he mumbled in his sleep. Master, tomorrow is my 14th birthday. Can you come out of seclusion and spend it with me? Her anger vanished. His 14th birthday? That was while I was in seclusion. She turned over and placed a hand on his forehead. You're burning up. No wonder you're delirious. She tried to gently move him. Let go of my hand so I can heal you. But even in his feverish state, his grip on her was like iron. She sighed. Fine. I'll just heal you like this. After about half an hour, his fever seemed to have subsided. She was exhausted and didn't bother with the arm still wrapped around her waist. Once she was sound asleep, the unconscious Zhu Yuncheng opened his eyes. An hour earlier, after the man had fallen asleep, he had gone outside, deliberately stood in the cold wind for half an hour, and reopened his wound until he had given himself a fever. He leaned in and kissed her forehead. Being able to share a bed with my master, it was all worth it. The next morning, as they were about to leave, the man came out. You're leaving so early? I haven't even had a chance to properly thank you. Xiaoning cut him off. No thanks are necessary. Demons are causing trouble everywhere. The sooner we deal with them, the better. We won't disturb you any longer. Wait, an old woman called out. She walked over, her face kind. Young lady, your clothes are torn. Take this, it's clean. Xiaoning was about to refuse, but the woman's kindness moved her. Thank you, ma'am. She put on the new outer robe. As soon as she did, the old woman's expression changed drastically. You're wearing that color? You look just like... That's it. You're the fraud who came to our village 2 years ago to slay demons. Xiaoning was completely baffled by the accusation. The man was mortified. Mom, what are you talking about? This is the woman who saved my life yesterday. You can't just say things like that. But the old woman was adamant. I'm not lying. It was her. I remember her name was Xiao Ning. She came alone, bragging about how powerful she was, but she couldn't even remember her spells right and almost got little Yang from the village killed. And when she left, she said something strange, something like, "This really isn't my fault. I'm leaving now. Sorry. Sorry." Sorry? Xiaoning thought. I've never heard that word in my life. Even if I lost my memory, I would never say something like that. Something else is going on here. Zhu Yuncheng was also deep in thought. From his master's expression, she was beginning to suspect something more than just memory loss. He remembered his own interactions with that Xiaoning 2 years ago. Looking back, she had been very suspicious. She would complain during meditation, "I'm so bored without my phone." And at meals, "I'm so sick of this food. I'm craving some KFC." At the time, he had been too consumed by her flirtations with other men to notice the oddities. But now he realized her behavior had been completely different from the master he knew, and it lined up perfectly. His master said she had been in seclusion for 5 years, but she had actually emerged 3 years ago, right around the time her personality changed 2 years ago. Could it be my master was possessed during those 2 years? Earlier, as they were on their way to slay more demons, he had been thinking. Xiaoning probably hadn't figured out she had been possessed yet. And if she found out he had lied to her, she might call off their engagement. No, I have to make her realize she loves me, and fast. Xiaoning, riding beside him, was oblivious to his scheming. They soon arrived at the demon-infested area. The area around Jiangshan village is crawling with demons, and they're stronger than before, she said, sizing up the situation. You're still injured, so don't push yourself. Just provide cover for me. After a long day of fighting, they had finally cleared the area. We've cleared the demons to the south, east, and west of the village, she said, wiping sweat from her brow. All that's left is the north side, but the demons there are said to be much more powerful. Let's go back to the village, get some food, and rest. We'll take care of it in the morning. Zhu Yuncheng nodded obediently. When they arrived at Xiangshan village, they were greeted by a crowd of smiling villagers. Thank you for slaying the demons, immortals. Please have something to eat. Please stay at our home tonight. We'll prepare fresh bedding for you. Immortal, do you think my child has the potential to be a cultivator? Could you take him as your disciple? The overwhelming enthusiasm left them both a little stunned. Just then, 2 young women approached Zhu Yuncheng. Immortal, we made these pastries for you. Please, try them. Zhu Yuncheng was about to refuse, but then he saw Xiaoning out of the corner of his eye. If I make her jealous, maybe she'll realize her true feelings for me. So, he smiled and accepted the pastries. Well, it would be rude to refuse. I'll have one from each of you, all right? The 2 girls blushed. The immortal is as handsome as he is talented. Meanwhile, Xiaoning had politely declined the villagers' offers. She turned and saw her disciple laughing and chatting with the 2 young women, who were now arguing over whose house he should stay at. Although he was talking to them, Zhu Yuncheng kept glancing at Xiaoning. Seeing her obvious displeasure, he said, "Well, I'll have to discuss it with my master." He turned to her. "What do you think, master?" "You decide," she said, her voice clipped. He then mouthed to her, "You're jealous." She turned away, mouthing back, "Nonsense." A wave of delight washed over him. He gently pulled his arm away from the girls. "I'm sorry, but my master prefers quiet places, so we must be leaving now." The villagers tried to get them to stay, but they left. As they walked, Zhu Yuncheng noticed the tension leave Xiaoning's shoulders. "Are you sure you weren't jealous, master? The moment I turned them down, you started walking a lot faster." Flustered at being called out, she snapped, "I told you I wasn't. Now go find us a place to camp." Yes, right away." As he walked off, Xiaoning frowned. Was I really that obvious? Last night he said he had a fever, so I let him share my bed. Then he started talking nonsense, and I didn't have the heart to push him away. And that time, in the demonic illusion, I saw myself in a wedding dress, sitting on a marriage bed, happily waiting for him to lift my veil. Master, I've finally waited for this day. In her illusion, Xiaoning stood beside Zhu Yuncheng as the disciples below them chanted, "Congratulations to the new sect leader." Zhu Yuncheng rose and said, "There is no need for formalities. I won't waste time with empty pleasantries. I have only one question, one I have held in my heart for a long time, for my master." Xiaoning looked at him, confused. "What do you want to ask?" "Master, I have become the sect leader just as you wished. From now on, the sect is mine to command, and I am yours to command. So, will you marry me now?" She had not expected that. After a moment of shock, she averted her gaze. The sect's rules forbid marriage between a master and a disciple. A wicked smile played on his lips. I am the sect leader now. I'm abolishing those rules. Seeing her still hesitate, he took her hand. If you don't refuse, I'll take that as a yes. And so their wedding night arrived. First bow to heaven and earth, bow to each other, and now to the bridal chamber. In their room, Ju Yun-chung walked over to her, his heart full of joy, and lifted her veil. He looked at the blushing Xiaoning. I finally waited for this day. With that, he kissed the woman he had longed for. When they were both breathless, he carried her to the bed. With her disciple on top of her, Xiaoning's heart pounded. Her clothes began to fall away one by one. As she lay there, unsure of what to do, he kissed her until her body went limp. But then a thought pierced through the haze. No, this isn't right! She pushed him off with all her might. Master, he cried, a wounded look on his face. As she came to her senses, the illusion shattered. The memory made her shudder. In her illusion, she had almost with her own disciple. Seeing the changing expressions on her face, Ju Yun-chung asked with a sly grin, What are you thinking about, Master? Your face is so red. Xiaoning fanned herself. It's just a little warm in here. Are you sure it's not because you're embarrassed about being jealous earlier? Don't be ridiculous. I would never be jealous of you. He was the child she had raised, her family. An elder couldn't have those kinds of feelings for him. Agreeing to marry him had just been a temporary measure to keep him in line, to ensure her years of effort didn't go to waste. That was all it was. After her internal pep talk, she quickly changed the subject. How is the search for a campsite coming along? Ju Yun-chung sighed. She was still so resistant. He couldn't push her too hard. He would have to keep teasing her, wait for her to come to her senses on her own. There's an abandoned house not far from here. I've already cleaned it up a bit. Soon they were sitting by a fire, eating dried rations. Seeing his master eating in silence, he decided to use his injury to his advantage. He looked at her. Master, my bandages seem to be stuck to my clothes. I need to take my shirt off to redress the wound, but this arm, it hurts too much to lift. Can you help me? At the words, take my shirt off, the images from her illusion flashed through her mind. She shook her head, her face flushing. No! He wasn't about to miss this opportunity. Why not? For years, you've helped me change my shirt countless times. Why is today any different? It just is. He deliberately prodded. You won't help me, and you won't give me a reason. I can't help but think you're just shy, Master. The taunt worked. Before he could finish, she snapped, Stop your nonsense, fine, I'll help you. But when she pulled his shirt open and saw his perfectly sculpted chest, she realized the boy she had raised was now a man. Seeing him this close, he's definitely not the scrawny teenager he was before I went into seclusion. Noticing her dazed expression, he said, Don't be shy, Master. If you're curious, you can touch it. He then took her hand and placed it on his chest. The contact jolted her. She shot up, forgetting that he was still holding her hand. With a sickening rip, his wound tore open again. The pain seemed to sober her up. She knelt down, her voice laced with concern. Are you all right? I didn't mean to. I'll rebandage it right now. He put on a pitiful expression. I need a hug from my master to make it better. Then I can bear the pain of the bandage. Don't be ridiculous, she said, cutting him off. You're not a child anymore. He pulled her into a hug and quickly gathered his spiritual energy. Master, watch out! He blasted a shot of energy and she saw a dark mass. The newly formed cloud of smoke turned to flee and she shouted, After it! In her excitement, she accidentally pulled on his wound again. Hearing him grunt in pain, she said, I won't move. You slowly take your hand away. Master, my arm. I can't move it, he said, his voice full of feigned weakness. She gave him a look that said, You can't fool me. Realizing his ruse had failed, he sighed. All right, I can move it. I'll let go. A few moments later, they had chased the creature into a dense forest. Xiaoning looked at the blood on the ground. It's lost a lot of blood. It can't have gone far. The trail stops here, Master. It must be hiding nearby. I'll use my spiritual sense to find it strange. I can feel my own aura nearby. Seeing her disciple's confusion, she pointed. This way. Let's go. They arrived at a large array. This is my array, she murmured as she stepped inside. She sent out a wisp of her spiritual energy and watched as it resonated with the array. This is definitely my array, but I have no memory of it. It must have been from the time I lost my memory. Ju Yun-chung understood immediately. It was the fake Xiaoning's array. Will my master find out about my deception? He worried. He tried to distract her. Master, let's go after the demon first. We can come back later. But she was focused on the array. There's something strange here. The soul imprint on this array, it's not mine. Normally, spiritual energy comes from the body, but a high-level array is linked to the caster's soul. The spiritual energy is mine, but the soul imprint is someone else's. That can only mean one thing. Zhu Yuncheng's heart sank. Damn it, she knows she was possessed. Xiaoning turned to her disciple. Yuncheng, your cultivation is advanced enough to recognize this is a high-level array. This proves that I didn't lose my memory. I was possessed. Her words sent a jolt of panic through him. She's telling me this now? Does that mean she regrets our engagement? Before he could answer, a figure appeared behind them. Well, if it isn't the two immortals. I had that black mist invite you over. I didn't expect you to arrive so quickly. The master and disciple's expressions darkened. A demon in human form? No, he has a human aura as well. He must have taken over someone's body. Xiaoning gathered her spiritual energy. You have some nerve? A demon possessing a human body, and you dare to show yourself so brazenly? The demon feigned terror. Oh, I'm so scared. Don't come any closer or I'll kill everyone in Xiangshan village. Zhu Yuncheng sneered. You overestimate yourself, you think you can threaten us? You couldn't harm a single person in that village before we kill you, let alone all of them? The demon was furious. How dare they look down on me? He became even more arrogant. Remember that illusion from before? I set that up to test the spiritual power of cultivators. You two broke through it quickly, which means you're very powerful. I like your power. While you were gone, I used my illusions to take all the villagers hostage. He then delivered his ultimatum. If you obediently offer me your spiritual power, I'll let the villagers go. If you resist, I can make them all die in their illusory nightmares instantly. Xiaoning dispersed her spiritual energy and walked toward the demon. I'll give you my power. Excellent, come here, I can't wait. Just as she was about to be pulled in, Zhu Yuncheng shot past her. Master, I'll go first. Watching her disciple being drained, Xiaoning was torn. What do I do? Do I just watch Yuncheng die, or do I abandon the villagers? No, I can't give up on any of them. There has to be a better way. As she frantically searched for a solution, the demon, who had been enjoying the feast, suddenly cried out in terror. No! Let me go! Let me go! Xiaoning was stunned. What's happening? Yuncheng is draining the demon's power? Zhu Yuncheng, pushed to his limit, gritted his teeth and held on. The demon roared, You bastard! Unwilling to die, he abandoned the body. A cloud of smoke shot out and fled. And all of this was witnessed by a figure in the shadows. He's finally started absorbing demonic energy. It won't be long now before he comes home, my dear brother. After the demon fled, Zhu Yuncheng collapsed. Xiaoning rushed to his side. Yuncheng, what's wrong? Stay back. The demonic energy I absorbed, it's unstable. I might not be able to control it. A powerful wave of demonic energy erupted from his body. When he stood up and walked toward her, she started to approach, but he stopped her. You smell so good. I can't wait to tear you apart and devour you. She realized the demonic energy had taken over his mind. Yuncheng, focus, center your mind and regain control. He leaned in and sniffed her. You smell intoxicating. But that mouth of yours is too noisy. Maybe I'll eat it first. Even possessed, he's still as handsy as ever. He can't hear me. I have to use the 1,000 thread bone to wake him up. But as she was about to activate the goo, she hesitated. No, that's not right. His demonic energy is out of control. The pain from the goo might just fuel his violent urges. She dispersed her spiritual energy and cupped his face. Yuncheng, look at me. You can control this. You would never hurt me, right? Her words seemed to get through to him. He froze. As his mind wavered, a sharp pain shot through his head. I can't control it. Get away from me! She soothed him. Yuncheng, do you trust me? Come here. I can use my own spiritual energy to help you stabilize the demonic energy. Don't resist, okay? Seeing that he was listening, she pulled him into a hug and began to suppress the demonic energy with her own. After about half an hour, the demonic energy in his body had calmed down. She looked up. Are you feeling better? Zhu Yuncheng, however, was filled with anxiety. After what just happened, she must know I'm a high-level demon. How am I going to explain this? At the same time, Xiaoning was thinking, for him to be able to overpower a demon in human form, he must be a high-level demon himself. I suspected as much when I first took him in. Revealing his identity now won't do any good. Just as Zhu Yuncheng was about to speak, she cut him off. There's no need. Don't tell anyone what happened here today. Let's just pretend it never happened. Her words filled him with joy. She really does love me. Luo Wengxiu sighed in relief. My leg is finally healed. I can finally take a bath. Now, I need to find a way to make my junior sister see Zhu Yuncheng's true colors. He noticed a note and a bottle of medicine on his desk. That's strange. The door was closed and I didn't hear anything. Is there someone in the Kangjian sect with such skill? When he read the note, his face paled. This definitely wasn't from someone in the sect. Who is it, and how did they know I needed this exact medicine? He looked at the bottle. Well, whoever they are, I can't let such a precious gift go to waste. If I plant this in Zhu Yuncheng's room, I can frame him for colluding with demons. At best, my junior sister will lose faith in him. At worst, according to the sect's rules, he could be stripped of his cultivation. After a night of rest, the master and disciple left Xiangshan village. As they neared the Kangjian sect, Xiaoning reminded him, I'm going to report the increase in demonic power to the elders. Your own energy is still unstable, so you should go straight back to Serene Heart Pavilion and meditate. Zhu Yuncheng was not happy. He grabbed her arm. But I don't want to be away from you for a single moment. His plea left her at a loss. Well, if it isn't the two of you. We found some demonic core powder in Zhu Yuncheng's room yesterday. After consulting with the three elders, we believe he is colluding with demons. Come with me to the disciplinary hall for questioning. The master and disciple's expressions turned cold. Zhao Ziwang! Xiaoning snapped. You may have a grudge against me, but that's no reason to frame my disciple. Nonsense. My actions are just. Great Elder, you take them. I can't be bothered to waste my breath on them. The Great Elder drew his sword and advanced. Xiaoning knew what was happening. A false accusation is easy to make when you've already decided on the verdict. It seems I'll have to handle this differently. She stepped in front of her disciple. Wait, Great Elder, the demonic core powder. It was mine. Her confession stunned Luo Wengxiu. What? I was the one who planted it. Now she's not only not suspicious of Zhu Yuncheng, but she's lying to protect him? Zhao Ziwang, however, was delighted. It was yours? Do you know what you're saying? He cackled, thinking, I was only going to punish the disciple, but she walked right into my trap. Xiaoning smirked. I'm saying it was material for my research on demons. At most, I'm guilty of possessing a dangerous substance, correct? The Great Elder's face darkened. The powder was found in his room, but we have no proof he was colluding with demons. If she insists it's hers, we can only punish her for that. He turned to Zhao Ziwang. Sect leader, the punishment for possessing a dangerous substance is confiscation of the item and 1 month of confinement. What? Zhao Ziwang fumed. Just 1 month? She's clearly trying to get off easy. The Great Elder leaned in and whispered, pushing this further will be fruitless. Trust me, let's just stick with this punishment. After the Elder's explanation, Zhao Ziwang waved a dismissive hand. Fine, you're confined for 1 month. As for your disciple, until this matter is cleared up, he'll be confined with you. Hearing this, Zhu Yuncheng threw his arms around Xiaoning. Thank you, Master! His public display of affection caught her off guard, and she blushed. What are you doing? Let go! The elders are still here! He whispered. So does that mean I can do whatever I want after they leave? You insolent whelp! Don't twist my words! The 3 single men were forced to watch this nauseating display. The Great Elder huffed, shameless, and stormed off. Zhao Ziwang and Luo Wengxiu were left behind. Zhao Ziwang clapped a hand on his shoulder. You have my sympathies. His words only fueled Luo Wengxiu's determination. She is mine. During her confinement, Xiaoning was miserable. She kept thinking that the person her disciple loved, the person he had been with, was the fake Xiaoning. As she was lost in thought, a hand covered hers. Are you upset about the confinement, Master? Don't worry, I'll get to the bottom of the powder incident and clear your name. Let go of my hand, she said, her voice distant. But he didn't. He leaned in and gently bit her fingertips. I won't. There's so much more we're going to do together. I have to help you get used to it. His words only complicated her feelings. She pulled her hand away and turned from him. He teased her. It's just the 2 of us here. Why are you still so shy, Master? She sighed. I'm not shy. Yuncheng, let's call off our engagement. His eyes went dim and he stared at her, stunned, as she continued. You know I was possessed. The person you were with, it wasn't me. The person you love is that Xiaoning, not me. There's no reason for us to continue this engagement. Master, Are you saying you don't want me anymore? He stumbled back, his face a mask of disbelief. No! You can't leave me! He grabbed her wrist. Master, let me explain. I don't love that imposter. I have nothing to do with her. Please, don't misunderstand. Nothing to do with her? But you've already proven that you were together. I am not her. You don't have to lie to yourself anymore. Lie to myself? If you don't believe me, summon the goo from your body and see if the wings are still there. A moment later, Xiaoning was staring at the goo in disbelief. How can this be? As far as I know, once the bond is consummated, the wings on the goo mother are permanent. What's going on? Zhu Yuncheng explained, goo arts aren't our primary focus, so you wouldn't know a key detail. If the caster drinks the blood of the afflicted, the goo mother will temporarily sprout wings. I was never intimate with that imposter. It was all a trick to get you to take responsibility for me. You dared to deceive me like that, she said, her voice shaking with anger. I lied to you, I admit it. You can hit me, you can scold me, but please, don't call off our engagement. But she was still skeptical. Even so, when you imprisoned me, the person you wanted was the fake Xiaoning. This all started because you fell for her, didn't it? Zhu Yuncheng was frustrated. He had dug this hole for himself, and now he had to get out of it. Master, think carefully. What happened right before I imprisoned you? Misunderstood by his master, who thought he was in love with someone else, Zhu Yuncheng quickly tried to explain. Master, don't you remember when I came to see you right before I imprisoned you? At that time, Zhu Yuncheng had brought a plate of pastries to Xiaoning's room. Master has been getting closer to Luo Wengxiu lately, he had thought. I have to warn her again. He entered the room and found her lost in thought. He waited quietly. When she finally turned and saw him, she said in surprise, Yuncheng, you've grown so tall. Her words caught him off guard. She seems different today. He quickly dismissed the thought. She's probably just planning some new scheme. Well, it's not my problem. He placed the pastries on the table. Master, this is the last time I'm going to warn you. Luo Wengxiu is not a good person. You should stay away from him. She reached out and touched his forehead. Why would you say that? Has our second brother been bullying you? Zhu Yuncheng was confused. She hasn't touched my forehead like that in 2 years. Why now? Xiaoning smiled. I forgot. You're a grown man now. I can't treat you like a child anymore. She continued to chat, oblivious to the fact that her disciple was now seeing her in a completely new light. After his explanation, Zhu Yuncheng looked at her. I'm guessing that was when you had just gotten your body back, right? Yes. I had a breakthrough in my cultivation. When I woke up, I was in my seclusion chamber. Looking back, the imposter must have returned to the chamber at that time. When I regained control, I thought I had just come out of seclusion, but my body had been occupied for 2 years. So you see, even though I couldn't tell the difference then, you should know now that my heart has always known the difference between you two. The person I love has always been you. Xiaoning was shocked. His feelings for her were real. But still, she said, let's call off the engagement. Tears streamed down his face. Why? I've explained everything. The person I love is you. Why are you still doing this to me? For the sake of the 8 years we spent together as master and disciple. From the moment I found you, I had ulterior motives. When I came out of seclusion and you told me we had been together, I agreed to the marriage to keep you in line. I thought that in time you would get over your obsession and we could go back to being master and disciple, and I could continue my plan to take over the sect. She paused. But now I see how deep your feelings run. I can't drag this out any longer. For 8 years, I watched you grow up, hoping you would become the sect leader and fulfill my ambitions. But more than that, I want you to be happy. I don't want you to waste your life with someone who is just using you. She took a deep breath. You asked me why I still want to call off the engagement. The reason is simple. I don't have any romantic feelings for you. And I don't want you to throw your life away on me. Master, you do like me. You just haven't realized it yet. You're mistaken. I was just being nice to you because I wanted to use you. He took her hand. Even if you don't like me at all, it doesn't matter. You've already announced our engagement to the elders. If you call it off now, Zhao Ziwang will never let you hear the end of it. Her expression changed. Seeing his chance, he leaned in and nuzzled her hand. But all I've ever wanted is to be with you. Even if you never love me, I'll be happy. She tried to pull her hand away, but he held on tight. Do you know what you're saying? You'll regret marrying someone who doesn't love you. While she was trying to be serious, he was busy kissing her hand. I'll never regret it. Think of me as your pawn, Master. Use our marriage to bind me, to use me, just never let me go. I don't know how I would live without you. He was willing to risk everything to be with her. If I insist on calling it off, he might... She sighed. Fine. If you can't see reason now, I won't force you. When you do regret it, we can call off the engagement then. His face lit up. So, as long as I don't regret it, you won't leave me? When she nodded, he threw his arms around her. I knew you were the best, Master. Caught in his embrace, she warned, don't get too excited. If you ever lie to me again, I won't forgive you. I swear, I will never lie to you again. If I do, you can punish me however you see fit. But in his heart, he thought, I'll just have to be more careful next time so she never finds out. In a forest outside the Kangjian sect, a mysterious man spoke to two figures. The demonic core powder I gave to Luo Wengxiu wasn't enough. We'll have to be more drastic this time. The two figures, both demons, looked at their new bodies. So, this is what it's like to be a cultivator. The body is so much lighter than a mortal's. It seems you're satisfied with your new bodies. Thank you, my lord, for these bodies. We will be able to absorb spiritual energy much faster now. They're not a gift. In return, you will do something for me. In a few days, you will deliberately expose yourselves and get caught. Then, you will confess that you are colluding with Zhu Yuncheng. But we'll be killed. Don't worry. After you've done your part, I will give you two even better bodies. But if you refuse, you'll die right now. The two demons quickly agreed. We will complete the mission. We will frame Zhu Yuncheng and we will not falter. 3 days later, in the cultivation hall, Luo Wengxiu was lecturing distractedly. The so-called unity of heaven and man, the refining of essence into Shi. He trailed off, lost in thought. My junior sister trusts Zhu Yuncheng so much. After their confinement is over, she's bound to investigate the demonic core powder. I need to find a scapegoat. Two disciples at the back of the hall were whispering. Did the Lord say today was the day? I think so. We should expose ourselves now. They both released a wisp of demonic energy. The sudden change in the air pulled Luo Wengxiu from his thoughts. Why is there demonic energy in the cultivation hall? He scanned the room and saw that the energy was coming from a disciple at the back. He closed his book. Review on your own. I'll be back shortly. He then quickly left the hall. It seems I found my scapegoats. I'll report this to the sect leader. Earlier that day, she had been sitting alone on the veranda, drinking sullenly. By the time Zhu Yuncheng came out, she was already several drinks in. Master, why are you drinking so early? Is something bothering you? No, I'm just bored from the confinement. Before she could finish, he sat down next to her. I have something to tell you that I think you'll find interesting. Why is he sitting so close? She thought, scooting away. Go on, she said, her face flushing. He immediately scooted closer. You're so far away, Master, I can't hear you. I'm not deaf. Are you going to tell me or not? If not, I'm leaving. Seeing her about to storm off, he quickly grabbed her arm. Yesterday, when the disciple brought our food, I gave him a little something and asked him to pay respects to your master's grave this morning. You knew today was the anniversary of my master's death? Of course, I know everything that's important to you. I also know that the reason you're so obsessed with becoming the sect leader is because of him. It's true. His greatest wish was for me to succeed him. I was an orphan. He found me in a snowstorm while he was out slaying demons. He raised me, taught me how to cultivate. I became the only female disciple in the sect and his chosen successor. I could never repay him. The only thing I could do was to constantly improve, to never disappoint him. But... She lifted the half-empty jug and drained it in one go. Master, you shouldn't drink on an empty stomach, he said, but it was too late. Wait here, I'll make you some snacks. But the alcohol had already hit her. She staggered to her feet. I don't need any. Her voice was slurred. Even when I'm drunk, I'll never forget the vow I made at my master's grave. Take down the idiot and seize control of the sect. Zhu Wencheng had to suppress a laugh. He went to her and helped her stand. Don't worry, Master. I'll make all your dreams come true. She looked at him, her eyes glazed over. Really? You're such a good boy. With that, she passed out. He held her in his arms, thinking, she trusts me more than she realizes. Her heart is like a locked treasure chest. But I have my whole life to win her over. Sooner or later, I'll find the key. The next morning, Xiaoning woke up with a pounding headache. She noticed she was only in her undergarments. What happened? Where are my clothes? She remembered getting drunk the day before and her disciple carrying her back to her room. Master, your clothes were dirty from sitting on the floor. I took them off so you could sleep comfortably. That little brat. Is he up to no good again? She had thought. He really just took off my outer robes. Yuncheng seems to be changing. Just then, he entered with a bowl of porridge. Master, you're awake. He sat on the edge of the bed. Have some of this. Mung bean porridge is good for a hangover. She looked at the porridge, knowing that since they were in confinement, he must have made it himself. Mung beans have to be soaked for hours, and to keep it at the perfect temperature for this long must have taken a lot of effort. She took the bowl. I can feed myself. All right, master. Be careful, it's hot. He watched her eat, a look of pure contentment on his face. The warm porridge settled in her stomach and her mood brightened. Suddenly, Zhao Ziwang's angry roar echoed from outside. Xiao Ning, get out here with that monstrous disciple of yours now. When they emerged, she demanded, What are you doing at Serene Heart Pavilion so early in the morning? Before she could finish, the great elder threw a divine artifact that wrapped around her, binding her. Zhao Ziwang gloated, I'm not joking this time. We caught 2 demons who had possessed our disciples last night. Under interrogation, they confessed that Zhu Yuncheng let them in. Xiaoning didn't believe a word of it. That's impossible, she seethed. The great elder cut her off. The evidence and witnesses are irrefutable. Zhu Yuncheng, for colluding with demons, will have his cultivation crippled. Anyone who interferes will be executed. With that, he dragged Zhu Yuncheng forward. Let him go, she screamed, struggling against her bonds. But the immortal binding lock, a relic left by her own master, was too strong. The elders had already set up the lightning gathering array. With a deafening boom, a bolt of lightning struck Zhu Yuncheng. Bastards, stop! Xiaoning roared, tears streaming down her face. One by one, the bolts rained down until Zhu Yuncheng collapsed, coughing up blood. Zhao Ziwang sauntered over to her. Well, I thought you were so powerful. But when your own disciple is being crippled, all you can do is watch. All she could do was glare at him with pure hatred. After 15 minutes, the lightning stopped. The elders released her, and she rushed to Zhu Yuncheng's side, cradling his limp body. Yuncheng, I'm here. It's over. It's all over. Zhao Ziwang, in high spirits, said, Elders, let's go. This brat is useless now. There's nothing more to see. As they left, Xiaoning vowed, Yuncheng, don't worry. For what they've done today, I will make them pay 100-fold. After his cultivation was crippled, Zhu Yuncheng was in constant agony. No matter how much spiritual energy Xiaoning transferred to him, it did nothing to ease his pain. Normally, the spirit-shattering array not only destroys the spiritual foundation, but also inflicts immense physical pain. I thought that by protecting his foundation, he would be spared this suffering, but I was wrong. Seeing her continue to exhaust her energy, he stopped her. Master, I'm fine. Don't waste your energy. Just lie down with me. I want you by my side. Seeing her hesitate, he pleaded, Please, Master, when you're next to me, it doesn't hurt as much. How could she refuse? She took off her shoes and lay down beside him. Don't worry, Yuncheng. The demonic souls have been removed from the 2 possessed disciples. They should wake up in a few days. We'll be able to question them then. I'm counting on you to clear my name, Master. Thank you, Master, he whispered, taking her hand and rubbing it against his cheek. The pain he was feeling now was nothing compared to the torture he had endured in the demon realm, where no one had cared. To have his master's concern now, it was worth any price. I should almost thank that idiot Zhao Ziwang for giving me this chance to be close to my master. When I kill him, I'll be sure to leave his corpse intact as a gesture of gratitude. By the time he fell asleep, it was the middle of the night. Xiaoning carefully got up. A short while later, dressed in black, she snuck into Zhao Ziwang's study. That idiot only became the sect leader because of the 3 elders' support. If I can drive a wedge between them, he'll fall. I used to respect the elders for their dedication to the sect, but today they punished Yuncheng without a second thought. They're old and foolish, no longer worthy of my respect. And with demons capable of possession appearing both inside and outside the sect, there must be someone pulling the strings. If I can stir up trouble between Zhao Ziwang and the elders, I might be able to lure the mastermind out. A sly smile touched her lips. Zhao Ziwang, I have a gift for you. You're welcome. Meanwhile, Zhao Ziwang was grumbling as he carried the 2 demonic souls down the mountain. The Great Elder is so annoying. Why couldn't he get someone else to do this? He said it would build my prestige. I'm already the sect leader. Why do I have to do this grunt work? A figure appeared before him. Greetings, sect leader. Congratulations on punishing the traitors. Oh, it's you. I remember your Luo Wengshu's head disciple, Shen Wei. You were a great help in capturing these two demons. It is an honor that the sect leader remembers me. He then asked, where is the sect leader going? Don't ask, Zhao Ziwang huffed. The Great Elder wants me to nail these two to the sect gate. It's a real pain. If the sect leader trusts me, I can take care of it for you. Zhao Ziwang immediately thrust the two souls into his hands. Excellent, I'll leave it to you. I'm going back to bed. He then scurried off. The two demonic souls, thinking they were saved, cried out, My lord, you came to save us. Thank you. Are you taking us to our new bodies now? Don't worry, I have everything arranged. He led them to the sect gate and then threw them onto the sharp spikes. Seeing their confusion, he explained, If you live, you increase our chances of being exposed. It is your honor to sacrifice yourselves for the Demon Lord's grand plan. Just as the master and disciple were meditating, Luo Wengshu arrived with a box. Junior sister Ning, I heard about what happened to Yuncheng. I brought some high-quality spiritual medicine to help him rebuild his foundation. Before Xiaoning could speak, her disciple wrapped his arm around hers. That won't be necessary. My master has already prepared plenty of medicine for me and has been personally helping me recover. She's been very attentive. Seeing the dark look on Luo Wengshu's face, Xiaoning cleared her throat. Behave yourself. Let go of my arm. What? You want me to hold your hand properly, master? She was at her wit's end with his shamelessness. She decided to escape the tense situation. I'll go get your medicine, she said, quickly standing up. Once she was gone, Luo Wengshu dropped his friendly facade. Zhu Yuncheng, what's the point of clinging to her like this? We both know what she wants is to control the entire sect. You're a cripple now. How can you possibly help her? And you? Even at full strength, you'd need another 100 years of cultivation to be of any use to my master. Luo Wengshu, struggling to maintain his composure, continued. Don't be so stubborn. Don't you think she's just taking pity on you? Like a dog she raised that can only bark but can't bite. Unfortunately for him, Xiaoning, returning with the medicine, heard every word. She walked up behind Zhu Yuncheng and patted his shoulder comfortingly. Then she turned to Luo Wengshu, her voice cold. He is my disciple. It is not your place to discipline him. Please leave. And in the future, do not come to Serene Heart Pavilion. You'll disturb Yuncheng's recovery. Junior sister, that's not what I meant. I was just... Zhu Yuncheng cut him off. Didn't you hear what my master said? Please leave, don't disturb us. The triumphant look on his face made Luo Wengshu's blood boil. But seeing Xiaoning's icy expression, he had no choice but to leave. Once he was gone, Xiaoning looked at her grinning disciple. He's gone. You can let go of my hand now. Of course, but first I have to thank you for defending me. With that, he leaned down and kissed her hand. She quickly shoved the bowl of medicine in his face. Enough nonsense. Drink this. He whined. This is so bitter. Can't I? She tilted the bowl, forcing him to drink. No. You look terrible, master. Didn't things go your way at Serene Heart Pavilion? Luo Wengshu's face darkened. That's strange. You used to be so polite. What's gotten into you lately? You framed Zhu Yuncheng with demonic core powder. Do you really think you're in a position to lecture me about etiquette? His words sent a jolt of fear through Luo Wengshu. How did you know? He smirked. How do I know? Because I was the one who gave it to you after I possessed Shen Wei. Who are you? When did you possess him? When you injured your leg. The revelation made Luo Wengshu's blood run cold. When my leg was injured? It's been that long and I didn't notice a thing. This person's cultivation must be far beyond my own. The young man continued. Don't worry, I'm here to deal with Zhu Yuncheng, not you. And if I'm exposed, your little scheme with the demonic core powder will be too. That can't happen. The trust I've built in this sect will be shattered. Luo Wengshu knew he had no choice. From now on, we are master and disciple in public only. In private, I will do whatever you ask. Huh, you're a smart one. As you mortals say, the wise submit to the circumstances. Now go to your idiot sect leader and convince him to lift Zhu Yuncheng's confinement, but I thought you wanted to deal with him. Just do as I say. Once he's no longer confined, he'll be able to get to the demonic energy in the Forbidden Grounds. He's desperate to regain his power. He won't be able to resist. Meanwhile, Xiaoning was helping Zhu Yuncheng circulate his spiritual energy. Master, I don't think I can take much more. Don't talk while you're circulating your energy. You almost lost control. After a moment, she sighed in relief. All right, that's enough for today. You must be tired. Get some rest. But he wasn't listening. He stared at the faint glow of spiritual energy in his hand, Luo Wengxiu's words echoing in his mind. I can't be a burden to my master, I have to get stronger. He turned to her. You go rest, master. I'm going to keep trying. You've already reached your limit for today. Haste makes waste. I want to push past my limit. Seeing his stubbornness, she grabbed his wrist. No, you need to rest. She then pulled him to his feet. The timing is about right. Your confinement has just been lifted. I'll take you to see something interesting, but listen to me, I'm your master. As he followed her, he thought, I know. And you're the love of my life. Xiaoning had led him to the council hall, where they had overheard Zhao Ziwang fuming. What's wrong with the second and third elders? They both fell ill on the day of their seclusion. The second elder wouldn't even see me. The great elder had said, they've been acting strangely ever since you submitted that document yesterday. Could there have been something wrong with it? Nonsense. Do you think I can't even write a proper document? I'm the sect leader. Even if they're unhappy about some loophole, I don't have to care. Ziwang, you can't think like that. You still need them to secure your position as sect leader. Don't ever say something like that again. Why do I have to be so constrained even after becoming the sect leader? This is so frustrating. Zhu Yuncheng had whispered, Master, was that document you're doing? She had nodded. The seeds of discord have been sown. Now we just watch the dam break. That night, Zhu Yuncheng stood by Xiaoning's bed, watching her sleep, his mind replaying the day's events. He couldn't let things continue like this. Zhao Ziwang and the elders were a constant threat. He had to get stronger, so he wouldn't be a burden to his master. Even though he hated the demonic energy, it was the fastest way. But the forbidden grounds were heavily guarded. To get in, he would need to create a major distraction. He snuck out of Serene Heart Pavilion and set fire to the council hall and the treasury. By the time Zhao Ziwang realized what was happening, the treasury was engulfed in flames. All my treasures, he shrieked. Get all the disciples! Put out the fire! My entire fortune is in there! Shenwei stepped forward. Sect leader, not only are your treasures in there, but also the archives of all the previous sect leaders. We should notify the 3 elders immediately. Yes, go, quickly. As his disciple rushed off, Luo Wengxiu wondered, what is he up to? First, he has me lift Zhu Yuncheng's confinement, and now he's luring the elders away from the forbidden grounds. Is he connected to it somehow? Zhu Yuncheng had already reached the forbidden grounds, unaware that he was walking right into a trap. He looked at the gate, and memories of his time in the demon realm flooded back. You're so clumsy. We're all just servants here. How dare you hit the second prince? My fault. I apologize to the prince. You won't hold it against us, will you, second prince? A young Zhu Yuncheng looked up, his voice cold. Get lost. The man grabbed his hair. You dare to talk back to me? Do you really think you're a prince? You're nothing but a stray dog. If the first prince wasn't so weak and didn't need you as a sacrifice for his medicine, the queen would have thrown you to the demonic beasts long ago. Know your place. A dog should act like a dog. He then ground the boy's face into the dirt. After he had vented his anger, he looked down in disgust. Ugh, your hair is so dirty. Go get some water. I need to wash my hands. Another man chimed in. Next time, just kick him. Don't get your hands dirty. As they walked away, laughing, the young Zhu Yuncheng vowed, I will escape. I will get out of here. He had just come back from the Forbidden Grounds, where he had linked his own spiritual energy to the demonic energy within, allowing him to absorb it from the safety of his own room. But as he entered, her sharp voice cut through the silence. Where have you been so late? His heart sank. She's already suspicious of me. I'll have to give her a half-truth to get by. He immediately dropped to his knees. I'm sorry, master. I couldn't swallow my anger at having my cultivation crippled, so I set fire to the treasury. Please forgive me. To his surprise, she patted his shoulder, a look of approval on her face. I went to watch the chaos. You should have seen Zhao Ziwang's face. It was priceless. I even fanned the flames a bit, and he and the second elder started arguing. They're not likely to make up anytime soon. We really are in sync, master. Don't be ridiculous. Get up and go to your room. I'll cover for you. Seeing her flustered, he obediently thanked her and left. As he walked away, he breathed a sigh of relief. It seems I've hidden the demonic energy for now. I hope she goes to bed soon. I need to balance the two opposing forces within me, and I can't let her find out. But even after she had gone to bed, Xiaoning couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. She got up and went to his room. The light was still on. Yuncheng, are you asleep? When she opened the door, she found him standing there, his face contorted in pain. Master, what are you doing here? What's wrong? Why is your spiritual energy in such chaos? He could feel the demonic energy within him, craving the spiritual energy around it. If she stays here, I might not be able to control myself. He forced a calm expression. I'm fine, Master. I was just trying to force a breakthrough and lost control. I just need to meditate for a bit. You actually tried to force a breakthrough? Sit down. I'll help you stabilize your energy. As she approached, he backed away, desperate not to hurt her. Master, I said I'm fine. Don't come any closer. He immediately regretted his harsh tone. I'm sorry, Master. I'm not angry with you, it's just being alone with you in my room so late at night. I'm afraid I won't be able to control myself. Please go back to your room, I can handle this. After much persuasion, she finally agreed. All right, I'm going. The moment she was out, he slammed the door shut. But she didn't leave. She sat down outside his door. Yuncheng, I can't help you from inside, but I'll wait out here. If you can't take it anymore, just call for me. He was in too much pain to answer, but in his heart he said, Thank you for staying with me, Master. I will get through this. The next morning, Xiaoning was woken by the chirping of birds. She saw a spiritual message floating in the air. It was from the infirmary. Excellent. It's time to find out who's behind this possession. Just as Zhu Yuncheng, having finally stabilized his energy, came out of his room, he saw her rushing off. Where is she going in such a hurry? When she arrived at the infirmary, she found the two disciples staring blankly into space. What's wrong with them? She asked the old doctor. They were fine just a moment ago. I don't know what happened. Someone knew I was coming and did this, she thought, rushing out. They can't have gotten far. She saw Shen Wei and a few other disciples talking. She remembered that he was left-handed, but his sword was on his right hip. Has he been possessed too? She cast a tracking spell on him and followed him to the back mountains. It was a place where disciples were forbidden to go. She found Luo Wengxiu cradling Shen Wei's body, weeping. What happened? She asked. Junior Sister Ning, it's all my fault, he sobbed. I noticed he was acting strangely and followed him here. But the demonic soul inside him realized it had been discovered and fled, destroying his body in the process. She suspected he was lying but had no proof. She could only pat his shoulder and tell him to give Shen Wei a proper burial and that they would avenge him. On the surface, he was heartbroken, but inside he was thinking, Shen Wei kept threatening me. I finally got a chance to kill him, and my junior sister almost caught me. Luckily, she believed my story. Meanwhile, Yuncheng, who had followed his master, saw them from an angle. It made it look like they were being intimate. He snapped a branch in two, fuming. She left me in such a hurry just to have a secret meeting with Luo Wengxiu? As Xiaoning was walking back, she thought, Luo Wengxiu is definitely involved in this. But why are these demons targeting Yuncheng? Her thoughts were interrupted by Yuncheng. Where have you been? You were gone for so long. I don't have any proof yet. I should keep it from him for now so he doesn't do anything reckless. She lied. I was at the infirmary questioning the two possessed disciples, but I didn't get any information. He grabbed her hand, his voice laced with anger. Do you think I'm a fool, Master? What are you doing? She asked, baffled. He leaned in close, his lips brushing her ear. Doing what a fiancé should be doing. Xiaoning sighed internally. He's just started to recover. If I use my spiritual energy to push him away, I might hurt him. She tried to reason with him. Yuncheng, you can't do this. Let me go. But he ignored her, burying his face in her neck and kissing her fiercely. Under his assault, she lost the strength to resist. Not content with that, he swept her up into his arms, cleared the table with a swipe of his hand, and laid her down, pressing his body against hers. Calm down, she warned. Don't make me use force. Go ahead, he said, his voice full of reckless abandon. Do it. You might as well kill me. Then I won't have to worry about you leaving me every day. When did I ever say I was going to leave you? And why did you accuse me of lying? Are you going to pretend you don't know? I saw you with Luo Wengxiu today. If you're talking about the back mountains, you've misunderstood. I was investigating the possession and followed Shen Wei there. Running into Luo Wengxiu was an accident. Then why were you touching his shoulder? I wasn't touching him. I found Shen Wei dead and suspected Luo Wengxiu had killed him. But I had no proof, so I pretended to comfort him to avoid suspicion. That's all. Seeing his disbelief, she swore, "If I have told a single lie, may I be struck down by lightning." Only then did he seem to believe her. "The misunderstanding is cleared up. Now let go of me." Seeing her still angry, he softened. "I'm sorry. I was impulsive today. For the sake of our relationship, please don't be angry with me." The word relationship made her blush. "If you say another word, I won't forgive you so easily. So, does that mean you've already forgiven me for my transgression?" "Just get off of me!" That night, as he was absorbing demonic energy in his room, he couldn't shake the feeling that there were still holes in her story. As his mind wandered, the demonic energy, no longer under his control, began to invade his body. A demon was terrorizing Mo City, and Zhu Yuncheng and his dear master had come to deal with it. "The demonic presence here is strong," Xiaoning said. "Several other sects have come and failed. If we can solve this, we can win the support of the second elder," Yuncheng replied. The townspeople did not seem happy to see them. They whispered amongst themselves, their expressions turning hostile. "Get out of Mo City, you're nothing but trouble." "We're here to slay the demon," Xiaoning explained. "How are we causing trouble? Just go. If you don't, we'll run you out with sticks." Yuncheng brandished his whip. "How dare you speak to my master like that?" Xiaoning quickly stopped him. "Don't you dare harm the townspeople. Let's leave the city for now and figure out what's going on." "There's something strange about the townspeople's reaction. You shouldn't have been so hostile. They were insulting you. I couldn't stand it." His words made her blush and her anger melted away. Suddenly, they heard a cry for help. They rushed over to find two demons attacking a young woman. Xiaoning immediately intervened, saving the girl. "Are you all right? Are you hurt?" The girl shook her head. As Xiaoning was about to leave, the girl grabbed her arm. "Wait! You're so beautiful, and that move was amazing. Can you take me as your disciple?" Zhu Yuncheng's jealousy flared. He snatched his master's hand back. "No, I am her only disciple." "I'm sorry," Xiaoning said to the girl, "and from your clothes, you seem to be from the Blood Return Pavilion. We don't accept disciples from other sects." "Then can I just come with you to slay demons?" "It's too dangerous to leave her here alone," Xiaoning said to Yuncheng. She then turned back to the girl. "You can come with us for now. Let's find a place to stay and get you patched up." At the inn, she said to Yuncheng, "After she's bandaged up, we'll disguise ourselves and go back into the city to investigate." But Yuncheng, standing behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist. "What are you doing?" she asked, exasperated. "That girl is obviously trying to latch onto you. Are you really thinking of taking her as a disciple?" "Don't be ridiculous. I'm just worried about her being alone." "You just met her and you're already so concerned about her safety?" He then turned her around and without another word, kissed her. He was determined to leave his mark on every inch of her skin.